So now let's have a look at what it'll take to plug this spill. Joining us now is Bjorn Carey. Bjorn is the senior associate editor of Popular Science magazine. Since 2006, he's led the magazine's coverage of oil and geothermal technology, including the latest cleanup techniques. Bjorn, thanks for coming to set today. So tell me how confident you are in the cleanup strategy underway right now.
Well, it's the best cleanup strategy we have.
Is it the only cleanup strategy we have?
It's the only one we have for an oil spill this scale right now. There are a lot of cool technologies in the works for microbes, bacteria that can eat oil, or sponges that can soak it up, but they're really only tested at the small scale right now. So for big spills like this, you need to go with what you know works, and that's the containment booms that we're trying, drilling a relief well, drilling a well next to the well that's leaking right now, and that will relieve pressure from the well, and you can divert some of the stream. And the technology you were explaining to me is very simple, but also very tedious and time-consuming, and it could take many weeks actually to get these solutions underway. Yeah, this is, it's a giant oil spill. It's a couple hundred miles across. You need to go with what you know works, and what we know works right now is putting a cone over where the leak is, and it's kind of like an upside-down funnel. And this funnel they're building right now in Louisiana, they'll put a pipe on the top of it, and they'll run that pipe to tanker ships on the surface, and they'll haul away as much of the oil as they can. They'll contain the spread and help recover some of the oil for BP, but it's going to take 4 weeks to 6 weeks to get that going. That's kind of the same idea as that relief well I was telling you about. So Bjorn, as we're chatting, Bjorn is the senior associate editor with Popular Science magazine. I just want to let our viewers know that we are looking at a live picture of Venice, Louisiana. It's hard, Bjorn, to really detect where the oil is. Now we're panning through the area, but this is just a tremendous environmental disaster shaping up here compared to the Exxon Valdez spill. Yeah, Exxon Valdez was about 11 million gallons that leaked into the coastline. Right now we're leaking 210,000 gallons a day, and if it does take 4 to 6 weeks to get some of these containment technologies in place, we're going to look at an output similar to the Exxon Valdez. And all this oil is getting into the estuaries where shrimp and oysters grow up, and where a lot of our seafood comes from. So it wouldn't be prudent to, well, you have to expect seafood prices are going to go up. Seafood, yes. So then compare that back also, because I remember those vivid pictures from Alaska, right, of all that wildlife covered in oil, and will we see some of that come back? I mean, is that the risk too? You definitely could. Mammals and birds are better at evading this type of oil spill than the smaller fish and everything. Bluefin tuna, Atlantic blue tuna breed in 2 spots in the world, and this is occurring in one of those spots. So if you like blue tuna, you're in trouble for that. So generally speaking, how do these companies, these major integrated oil companies, prepare for disasters like this? How much percentage, say, of their research and development, how much work do they do maybe on the side to come up with new technologies for spill cleanup? Well, you have to think that this type of disaster is going to cause them to direct more of their money into that, to repair their public image, and hopefully to mitigate some of these disasters in the future. So $6 million a day it's already costing BP. I mean, what other dollar figures have you heard in terms of? $6 million is just the starting point per day. That relief well is going to cost $100 million. And then the Louisiana shrimpers have already filed a giant class action lawsuit for starting at $5 million. And this could easily get over $1 billion at the end of the day, just with all the cleanup and lawsuits that come in afterwards, and as blame is dealt around. Indeed. Bjorn Carey is the senior associate editor of Popular Science magazine. Thank you so much for helping us understand this crisis.